Seeker mine. Serious trauma detected. Assault turret detected. An agent needs assistance. Boost now active. Boost is being taken by allies.
What's up agents, Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's build video is going to be very special. This is going to be, to be honest, probably my strongest PvP build right now. This is what I use in the DZ. It's really strong, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. This is the Corrupted Wolf build. So we're going to go over the specialization first, and then I want to explain the build in general, go through all the pieces, the stats, and then the skills. As usual, all my builds are templates for you guys to work upon. Never just copy a build, always adapt it to your own playstyle. Everyone plays differently, everyone is effective in different elements and different ways of this game. So make sure to remember that, and everything is really my opinion. It's up to you to judge whether or not my experience and my skill in the game depicts a good build. So let's get into it. Specialization. Now the reason why I've gone for Firewall I'll explain now, but let me tell you guys something now. Firewall is not the best anymore. Armor kits are just as good. The Gunner is arguably one of the best one of the best armor kits right now, because it gives you a big chunk. If you have a look at it, gives you 100% armor and grants 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds, which is really strong. So it really depends what you want to use. This is perfect for LMG builds. I'm going to be using more an SMG and AR. So the reason why I've gone for this is because of the shield. The shield is still really strong, gives me damage, puts enemies on fire when your armor gets broken, which is good. The armor kit is still really nice. 200% armor and 200% health over 10 seconds. It's completely up to you. 30% health on kill is also quite nice. So make sure you put SMG damage on and assault rifle damage on. You could use whatever secondary you want, so it's completely up to you. But like I said before, I think specializations are more balanced now. Obviously, if you want to use a rifle or a marksman rifle, you want to go for sharpshooter. But generally speaking, you can use any of these depending on how you want to play. I mean, if you want to be demolitionist, to maybe utilize the grenade damage and possibly even the turret, artillery turret, or you can even ignore explosions every 60 seconds. So there we go. So it just depends how you want to play. So let's get into it, the main chunk of the build. So the Corrupted Wolf build, what is the whole idea about this? I've been testing this particular build in the PTS. If you follow me, you would have seen it before. I demonstrated this. This, in my opinion, is going to be this is the meta for me right now. I feel so incredibly powerful, and I'm going to explain all the elements of the build right now before we go into each individual piece. Okay, so Lady Death received a huge buff. The burst DPS of this gun is, in my opinion, the best in the game right now when you have charged it up while you're running. I'll explain how to use that and how to do it just now. 1.3 million armor we have, so we are still quite tanky. To be honest, you can go full armor with this build. You don't even need reds, because we are going to be getting damage from multiple sources. So let's go over how this build works. So System Corruption received a massive buff. The reason why we're going to be using System Corruption with Intimidate and Adrenaline Rush is because they all synergize absolutely perfectly. So if you guys didn't know, you need to use close range weapons for this build to work properly. That's why I said like shotguns, SMGs are the best. You can even use LMGs. I wouldn't recommend rifles or marksman rifles with this build. Reason being, Intimidate. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. So while you have bonus armor, amplifies total weapon damage by 35%, but the enemy needs to be within 10 meters. So we need to get bonus armor. How are we going to get bonus armor to get this? You will have that 35% weapon damage all the time. every single time. System Corruption gives us bonus armor. Adrenaline Rush, which is on the backpack, gives us bonus armor within 10 meters of an enemy, which matches perfectly with Intimidate. Gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times depending on how many enemies are in front of you. So you can get 60% armor while you're within 10 meters of an enemy. Not only that, okay, so you get 60% armor while you're in 10 meters of an enemy. You will be getting 35% amplified damage from that. And while you're getting 60% bonus armor, you will also be getting 20% permanent armor. That's permanent, that's not bonus. And then 50%. So 50, 70% plus 60%. That's 130% armor we are going to be getting back. Now obviously it depends on how many players are around you, but 130% armor we are going to get back when we proc this armor kit and we are near enemies. It's just so strong, especially in 1v1 situations. When you proc this, and it's up every 20 seconds. I'm going to explain each individual piece just now, but you get the idea. And not only that, but we're getting weapon damage from this new gear set. I'm explaining it now, but it's not a new gear set, but it's been reworked, and it gives you weapon damage now as well. It's really strong. Plus, we get armor percentage on kill, so it really does increase your survivability. And the fact that in the Dark Zone, when you're going rogue, because this is a PvP build, when you're going rogue, you run out of armor kits very often. This is infinite armor kit every 20 seconds. And because it's paired with Adrenaline Rush, we are getting huge damage. So let's go over each individual piece. 1.3 million armor. We've got 3 blues and 3 reds. I feel like it's a nice balance. System Corruption, the mask. Maxed out armor. Now, we want to just focus on crit chance, crit damage. Once you've got max crit chance, which is easy to obtain because we are using an SMG, you want to stack all into critical hit damage. So, roll crit damage on every piece and use whatever mods you can to increase, either get your crit chance to max cap of 60 or increase your crit hit damage. Remember, this build is not all about damage, it's about survivability. So, let's go through this. So, System Corruption, guys. Armor percentage on kill, 15%. Disrupt and pulse resistance, which is nice. Then we've got the 4-piece, which is Hackstep Protocol. Replaces armor kits with an instant infinite use ability on 20-second cooldown that repairs 20% armor, that is 20% flat armor, grants 50% bonus armor, and hides your nameplate for 5 seconds. Which means, you guys know when you see a rogue and his name is not there and you don't even know he's rogue. It's because his nameplate is gone. He's using the decoy or he's using this. It's very strong. So we're going to be able to utilize this all the time. Permanent armor and bonus armor, which stacks with Adrenaline Rush. And I'm telling you guys now, Intimidate is always up with this. Always up, which is nice. Also increases total weapon damage by 1% per 5% bonus armor gained. Up to 20% weapon damage. It's just ridiculous, and I love the way this set works. It works perfectly. I would not run this Intimidate Adrenaline Rush combination without System Corruption. I feel like you are wasting your time if you don't use it. It is so good. Crit damage again, remember. Chest piece. Now I've gone for Healer Guard. You can use whatever gear set you want, but I recommend using the 5% total armor is very nice because we want to get our armor up as high as possible without sacrificing too much damage. I've got hazard protection. To be honest, you don't even need that much. It depends how you want to play, but skills won't really do much to you because you're getting so much bonus armor. And if someone in your team has got either Target Grade or Vanguard, you're unkillable. So armor on kill is a mod that I actually put on this because I'm stacking with the System Corruption percentage armor on kill. So it kind of stacks a little bit, so I'm getting a lot of armor when I get a kill. It's just regenning all the time. You could use Preservation on your gun as well. So armor again, make sure you roll that. Crit damage is very important. Intimidate, roll this. 35% amplified damage to enemies within 10 meters. And obviously, you guys know we're getting bonus armor left, right, and center. So the holster, System Corruption. This is very simple. Weapon damage, crit chance. Backpack. Now, you need this Adrenaline Rush talent. Go and farm it. This is a nice Sokolov because I'm going to be using the Lady Death. SMG damage, weapon damage, crit chance, weapon handling, which increases your swap speed, reload speed, accuracy, and stability. Don't forget that. Very strong. To be honest, I don't want this on the backpack, but hey, I'm not going to complain. It's a pretty decent backpack. In fact, if I could choose, I'd probably go for critical hit damage, like I said before. I've modded crit chances to get my crit chance high. Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of any gain, 20% bonus on 5 seconds, stacks with 3 times. Cooldown is 5 seconds, which is actually really low. It makes it really strong. So make sure you guys put this on. The mask, once again, crit chance or crit damage, depending on whether you've hit the cap. Knee pads again. I need to re-roll this, but armor, crit damage, that's very nice. So Lady Death, if you guys don't know, this gun is on par with one of the strongest SMGs in the game. So look, 77.9k. And then the Tactical Vector, 78.4. So it's just below. But when you stack this, so this is how it's going to work. The reason why this build works so well in close quarters is because you get movement speed, which means you can actually strafe like in Division 1. It feels like Division 1. And I think PvP players will really enjoy this. And that's the thing. The magazine size of this weapon is not ideal, 32. But the burst damage is so strong and you get this damage, this amplified damage all the time. So when moving, gain 4 stacks per second, or 8 stacks if sprinting, up to 32 stacks. Each round fired consumes a stack, amplifying damage by 75%. That's not even the best part, because when you get the movement speed, you can avoid all the players and get your hack step protocol to proc your infinite use strong armor kit, it just works so well. So make sure you guys have this. If you look at the mods, it's got critical hit chance 10%, which is nice. Reload speed, I wish it was magazine size. I don't know why they didn't change this. Melee damage 500%, you guys know what that means. Critical hit damage, which is not too bad to be honest. Go re-roll it, get your damage to armor high like I have. It's very, very strong. Then I've got this custom P416 with preservation, which will regenerate my armor by 10%. Well, killing an enemy repairs 10% over 5 seconds. Headshot kills improve the repair by an additional 10. 20% armor back over 5 seconds. It's so good. Preservation is perfect with this build. I use this like on NPCs to proc it, so then I'm getting my armor back. It's just the regen capabilities of this build are so strong. So make sure you try and put this as your secondary. It's a nice addition. You can use whatever pistol you want. We're going to go over the skills. To be honest, guys, Disruption Pulse is really needed because I need to disrupt skills. You can use whatever you want though. The shield, obviously the shield is something that everyone needs to be running, because tier 3 shield, you know, you're going to run into players using it. Everyone's using it now, and you're going to hinder yourself if you don't use it. The firewall gives us a lot of damage, extra damage, so you will out DPS someone with a normal shield. Make sure to utilize this, but it's obviously not completely necessary. So let's go over the stats. So we've got 60% crit chance, 80% crit damage, which is really good considering that we've just gone for survivability in this build. It's more about the base damage, but we are critting all the time, which is perfect. I'm just going to scroll through everything in case anyone wants to see something else. Then we go over here. Obviously, the hazard protection is not something we focus too much. This is not a survivability build. This is a fun utility damage dealing build, PvP build. I didn't want to go too much into hazard, but here's the thing. Like I said before, if you think you wanted hazard protection instead of crit damage, just roll hazard, 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 hazard on all pieces, and you can get a significant amount. And then instead of healer guard, you could put something like this right here. You could put Jarl gear. I don't think I've got it on me. Jarl gear will give you 10% hazard protection. So right there, yeah, 10% hazard protection. So there's ways that you can increase it, but I do recommend using it this way. So we're getting 35% extra damage all the time, and Adrenaline Rush is giving us, with combination of other elements, is giving us 130% armor back, which is just crazy. In combination with the hack step protocol and Adrenaline Rush, it's really, really strong. And as you guys can see, just standing in the range, I'm getting extra armor. It's really, really fun. Here comes the it's proccing twice now because there's 2 enemies nearby. It's constantly there. Intimidate is always up. It never goes away. It's lovely. And then as soon as I proc my hack step protocol, look at my armor. It's just crazy. And we're getting huge amounts of damage. Then when you're running, you go like this. You get your stacks. It's already fully stacked now. And then you just have a blast, doing just under 500,000 damage a shot. Then once you get a kill, you get that beautiful sprint speed, and you can strafe it. It's just, the utility of this build is so good in the dark zone. And our armor kit is already back. I can proc another armor kit, giving me massive amounts of armor. So I think the combination of the synergy of the damage and the armor regen and the constant armor gain from various elements that I've mentioned makes this build a contender to be the meta. And that's my honest opinion. I will update you guys. I'm going to try see if I can find other combinations that could be just as strong. But judging from my PTS testing and what I've seen so far, this is going to be my main PvP build. So hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing everybody in the next video. Peace out, agents.